We're back here at UDT 26 at the London Excel Centre, talking about underwater technology and its application in the defence market. Now, we have Olaf Detkinson of Saab. Could you give us a brief introduction as to what you do for the company?
Sure. I'm the head of sales for the underwater system business unit at Saab. So torpedoes and AUVs, ROVs, and things like that.
So you're their chief drone salesperson?
Sure.
So what's driving the explosion of interest in this tech? What's behind the new products, the new stuff that's all appearing all around the show? Every company seems to have new stuff. What's driving that?
Yeah, so obviously there's a lot going on in this domain, and we focus a lot on three different aspects. One is protection of critical underwater infrastructure. One is mine countermeasures, and the third one is anti-surface and anti-submarine warfare. So one example of the mine countermeasures area is this UV-16.
Okay. So this is a scale. This is a 1/3 size scale model.
Yeah. So this system is on heavyweight torpedo form factor. So basically the same sort of dimensions that we live.
So this would be fired out of or launched from the torpedo tube of a submarine.
It could be launched from many different platforms, from submarine, yes, but also from surface vessels, even from shore.
And this carries out reconnaissance away from the submarine in high threat, high danger zones.
Yeah, so this AUV-62 platform comes with different configurations and different payload. In this instance, you can see here the payload is synthetic aperture sonar, so enabling this mine reconnaissance capability. So performing a mission where you survey the seabed and look for mines.
So can you put a camera on this?
In this configuration, there's no camera. It's the synthetic aperture sonar.
So that's like a 3D image of the seabed or a mine or a sunken vessel.
Basically a sonar image of the seabed. And what's a little bit special with this system is that you can use it for change detection. You can actually do a first track of the area of interest, and then when you have that data set within the vehicle, you can compare that in a later.
So if someone's been planting mines or listening devices on your underwater cables or oil pipelines or that kind of thing, this would detect if something's been interfering with your undersea infrastructure.
Yeah, so that's what we call change detection, basically comparing two different data sets from two different points in time. And the uniqueness is also related to what you do with that information. So being able to pop up on the surface and actually send small images.
So is this your antenna for when you're on the surface?
Yeah, so the antenna has got different means of communication, both via satellite and then radio and even Wi-Fi. So a little bit different depending on what.
So how far away from the launch platform submarine can this operate? Are we talking hundreds of miles, tens of miles?
It depends, of course, a lot on the profile, how fast you get, how deep you go, and so on, and also on the battery capacity. In this configuration, you have one specific set of endurance, and then in the next you can actually extend the capability. So we're talking many hours.
Okay. And this is a product in service with the Swedish Navy.
So we've had this as a prototype in service with the Swedish Navy, actually supported by Saab, operated by Saab for many years, and then 2 years ago the Swedish Navy awarded the production of the systems actually be integrated into the operations of the Navy.
Okay, so this is a sort of torpedo-like configuration, but lots of other shapes and sizes of underwater drones, which you've got over here. Yes. Could you explain a bit about what these do?
Yeah, so maybe just from a concept level, from the torpedo-sized configuration, you get a lot of mission-specific capability and also the endurance of the hydrodynamics of a torpedo-shaped vehicle. If you look at this, for example, we've got the Sabertooth, which comes more from a commercial heritage. So basically, it will have more capability when it comes to hovering, precision maneuvering, but also when it comes to adaptable payload integration and so on.
Okay, and it's painted yellow because it's a civilian application.
This one is civilian, but we also see a lot of interest on the defense market here. So I think that line is being blurred out.
So what's the difference between these two different products?
So this one up here is actually specific for defense applications. In this case, mine disposal.
Right.
So once you've found the mines with this system, then you need to be able to dispose them. And there's a few different ways of doing that. We support both concepts from operating from traditional MCM vessel, but also to be able to operate from a USV.
So if your different drones detect a mine on the seabed, this plants an explosive charge to detonate it?
Yeah, that's correct. So first you have to relocate the mine and then classify the mine, and also you have the possibility of deploying these charges in different concepts. For this system, you place a sympathetic charge next to the mine, and you will detonate it via a small copper wire from the MCM wheel. Okay. In this other concept over here, we use a different method, which is attaching a smaller shaped charge to a mine, which also enables...
on the front here, yes.
Exactly. So it actually enables engaging with moored mines as well, which is difficult with a sympathetic charge.
Mine countermeasures has traditionally been a very slow-moving activity. It takes a long time to methodically go through the demolition process and find and classify and then clear and all that type of thing. It's a very slow moving thing. Are you able to multiply the effect and speed it up by having swarms of these types of robots all working at the same time to artificial intelligence control to just speed up the whole thing?
Yeah, I will talk that. I think we can get halfway at least by what we're doing on the mine reconnaissance side is trying to have a quicker loop of supporting the operator with reacting wherever threat is down there. So being able to interrupt a reconnaissance run when you found something, that also saves time for the operator. So you can deploy whatever assets you need for disposal phase. Another thing which also increases the tempo is, for example, having 3 charges instead of 1 in one system. So you don't need to recharge between every charge. And then obviously the scale factor of deploying from a USV as opposed to an MCMV.
Okay.
So if you have a big ship, obviously it's going to be hard to have as many. So you can scale that with a lot of USVs and a lot of USVs.
Now, Sweden is a Baltic country and its navy operates in the Baltic Sea. How much application do these products have in deeper ocean environments where the North Atlantic, where it's off the continental shelf, where the sea conditions are just fundamentally really different from coastal environments?
No, I would claim that the Baltic Sea has one of the most difficult conditions in the world. So I think really setting the scene there a little bit, we develop our systems to work in the Baltic Sea, and that will make them work in pretty much anywhere.
Okay.
I think there's another aspect when it comes to deep waters and so on. MCM is not traditionally performed in deep waters because there's no mine threat in the same sense. So you got that aspect, but from a sort of a difficult environment point of view, I would say Baltic Sea is a good test. Okay,
right. And what's the next evolution for this technology? What is the next thing? I mean, we've seen a range of products. Your company here, a lot of the other companies have got products, but in 1, 2, 3, 5 years' time, where's this technology going?
Yeah, I think we will see more of the unmanned for sure. I mean, we see a lot of navies still operating, the Swedish Navy being one of them in the more traditional sense. I think a lot of navies, I would assume, would be focusing more on unmanned going forward, and a combination between manned and unmanned, not necessarily fully unmanned. So that's definitely one trend. The other one was to introduce the level of autonomy on all of these systems, so supporting the operator, decreasing the footprint on the operator, and making it faster to operate, basically.
And are we moving to autonomous robotic launch platforms? I mean, because in the old days, these would be launched from a warship or a submarine, but are we moving to these systems being deployed from surface robots?
I mean, on the USV, we're almost there. That's an unmanned system. You can introduce level of autonomy there. I think one of the one of the areas where there's still an operator in the loop and has to be for some time at least is the final engaging phase with the mine, which is, and that goes with all weapon systems, I suppose, pressing the button and so on. But even in that area, there's a lot to do to support the operator. And to sort of ease the operations and make it faster.
Okay, well, we'll come back next year and probably see a whole different range of products. Thank you.
Maybe.
Cheers.
Thank you.